we are always free to choose how to respond to different experiences, free to express ourselves, and free to express in our actions, our thoughts, our words, in every part of who we are. We have that freedom right here, right now. And we have so much to be grateful for, we really do. In spite of all situations and conditions that are currently occurring, because there's stuff always occurring in this human realm we live in. But that gratitude serves us in moving forward in such a positive, uplifting manner. And just let's not forget the power of gratitude. And today we're looking at the idea of staying cool in the middle of the heat. This is metaphorically, of course, or air conditioning, but we're using this spiritually, so it is metaphoric. In other words, we learn how to keep our cool, our spiritual cool, even when life looks like it's heating up, when we feel devastated, and sometimes we feel like there's no hope. But today, the talk is freedom in the fireworks of life, and it seems appropriate for this 4th of July weekend. And the fireworks that are going on everywhere in our nation, in our lives, and just in all aspects of our experiences. So when we celebrate Independence Day for our nation, we will also celebrate Independence Day for ourselves, as we experience the personal freedom that can be found in the midst of life's fireworks. Because here's the truth. Here's the truth. The spiritual truth, when I talk about truth, not my truth, your truth, it's the spiritual truth of who we are. So, within every hot spot, there is a cool grace of spirit. Within every fiery explosion, there is a brilliance and magnificence of source. And within every firework, there is God's gift of beauty and freedom. And now those are all lovely words, because all of Ernest Holmes' writings are just beautiful words. But what do they really mean for us? Especially, what can they mean when we feel like life is being lived at the center of all those fireworks going off at the same time? You might feel like you are there right now with everything that is going on. You might have a health challenge, a financial challenge, a relationship predicament, troubles on the job, troubles without a job, unhealed wounds, who doesn't have them? Unhealed wounds, right? That are always coming up. The great division that I think is taking place in this country right now, and I don't think I'm the only one that thinks it, but we know that in spirit there is only unity. This is a human experience, and division feels like it's taking place. I'm not going to deny any of that. A lot of spiritual places you go to, they will not talk about like real stuff in life. You know, it's not all rainbows and lollipops. Life is life. We live it, but we can live it with the freedom to choose how we want to express ourselves on this planet at this time. Oh. Anyway, whatever it is you are in the middle of, you're hot. You're hot. You're a little hot. You're hot when you're uncomfortable and you feel like you just might explode. Kind of like you would feel if you were in the middle of a firework. There's stuff going on, you know, and it opens us up. It opens us up. And there, at the very center of the fireworks, you can't see the beauty that is there. And it is always there around the edges of the fireworks. We've been living for millennia on this earth, in this planet. There's always something comes up. But we can stay focused on our gratitude, on our decisions, on how we choose to respond in life. And I want to let you in on a little secret at the way you can connect with the cool grace of Spirit, the brilliance and magnificence of Source, and particularly today, the gift of God's beauty and freedom. It's your gift, because within you is God. We're all God. I mean, it's all one. It's all unity. There is no separation. So, we have a secret. And what do you think that secret is? You don't know. It lies on the horizon. What, you say? The horizon of life. And this is the secret. This is one of the secrets for today. Think for just a moment. When you are standing somewhere where there are no buildings, there's nothing in the way of your sight, you see the horizon, and it goes on forever, it looks like. And you can't see any further than that horizon, okay? Now, in the physical world, we know that the horizon is an illusion. And as we walk toward it, it just continues. It continues. We never reach it. But when it comes to meeting life's hotspots, explosions, and fireworks, our greatest challenge is that we tend to believe that the horizon that we see are fixed walls. There's nothing beyond that. There's nothing beyond this whole condition, this whole situation. This is it. We don't see. Sometimes we can't go up a little higher to see what's beyond. What's beyond? Because there's always a beyond. There's always more. And, for instance, there might be a few specifics related to the challenges that I mentioned earlier. You might say, I don't know what's really going on, what's happening in this country. How do we heal this deep human division? Or, my expenses are mounting up every week, every day. I don't know how I'm going to make it to the end of the month and pay my bills. Or, my partner and I just split up. I feel completely lost in these emotions and old wounds, and they are overcoming me. We've said those things at some point in our lives, I'm sure. And if we haven't, someone we know has. But we are here, spiritual beings, having this human experience, so these things are going to happen, and it's okay. That's what I want everyone to know. It's okay, because they will pass. Like that train. These are human, normal experiences. There is nothing not normal, not spiritual about them. And while we might have the human reactions, think about the consciousness that they are coming from. Your consciousness. Everything is consciousness. We know this, right? I say it all the time. Everything is consciousness. We are consciousness, pure consciousness. That is it. Everything. God is consciousness. That's what God is. God is consciousness. So where in our consciousness do we need healing? And each of those sentences spoken is, if you believe the present situation is static, is solid, then it can't move on from there. Don't you know in life, when you look back at the most horrific things, that stuff passes. Stuff passes. We will be changed, but this, I've always said this is a working planet. We're here to learn. We're here to grow spiritually. I truly believe that. It is as if you believe that the land that you can see between you and the horizon is all the land there is. That's what it's like when we know there's so much more. There's always so much more, always. And it's as if you also believe that if you step off that horizon, you're going to fall because there's nothing underneath. That's what the ancients believed. This is all flat. I mean, they really believed this. So there's more. It's continuous. It's continuous. When we are in the middle of the fireworks, we can only see the horizon and not beyond. We would be well advised to get up a little bit higher and a little bit higher, and that is in consciousness, and see further and further, because there is always hope on the horizon. There is always light and more light to be experienced in this life. So why then should you have the belief that your present horizon represents the limit of the land? You really believe you're that limited? Let's look forward. Let us look forward. By doing this, we extend our horizons. And this is the secret to experiencing the gift of God's beauty and freedom right in the middle of the fireworks. We can. It's all about our reaction. To know that there is always more, that there is a higher spiritual destiny for each and every one of us. And to know that in the middle of anything, that's a gift we give to ourselves. We really do. When we stand on that higher place and we lift our eyes from the place of where we were, and we see beyond the moment, we have an extended view then of the horizon. And think in your mind's eye, think. When you feel really stuck or afraid or confused, as many of us do, right now we might not, but we might. We can choose to see above the fireworks. We can choose to see above the experience, the conditions that we think are so solid. They're not solid. Nothing is solid. Everything is energy. We know this. Everything is energy. Everything is always moving. So anything else is just a thought that we have in our mind that we believed in. And then we make it a belief. Ernest Holmes said this in the Science of Mind book, page 282. The range of our possibilities at the present time do not extend far beyond the range of our present concepts. As we bring ourselves to the greater vision, we induce a greater concept and thereby demonstrate more in our experience. In this way, he says, there is a continuous growth and unfolding taking place. Little by little, we can unfold and raise our consciousness until at last we shall be made free. So, then how do we see beyond the horizon? How do we lift our eyes up? That's our second secret for this morning. These are not secrets, but I like the word. Yeah. So, we have a second secret. How do we do that? In a sure, tried, and true way, you can lift your eyes from the place where you are to a higher place. And it is this. We see God in everything. And remember, I said God is consciousness. We see it in everything. We must actively train ourselves. This is sometimes can be challenging. So we must actively train ourselves to look for the good. Because if God is everywhere, we say God is omnipresent, right? Then good is everywhere. We are everywhere. And remember, this is really important. God is in the world, but not of it. Not of this world. Doesn't recognize all of the problems and experiences. And I don't know, I hear people complain, why did God do this? God didn't do anything. God is just God. Consciousness is just consciousness. It's there. We are here. It's not that God did anything, but God is of the world, but not in it, not in problems. So that concept right there is a whole talk unto itself, which I'll give it another time. I want to talk about freedom today. And a concept that when looking at a situation and training yourself not to think or say, this is bad, this is so terrible, this is really hard to do. I think sometimes when we're in the middle of one of those big explosions in the fireworks and we're going, oh yeah, this is all good. I didn't feel good, but we rise above. We can feel the human emotions, and then we can know, you know what? Source energy is everywhere, and it's limitless. It's always limitless. And so there are always infinite possibilities. We know this, even when we can't see them, because we usually can't see them. How can we see them? And the way we do this is look for God's gift in this moment. Oh, that's a lesson. In this moment. In this moment, what do I have that I can raise my vibration in gratitude for? What can I have? What can I be? What can I do? What can I look at? And we are being forced right now to look at every part of ourselves as a collective consciousness. This is a planetary consciousness. And this whole shift that we've been talking about for decades is taking place. And guess what? This is what it looks like. So, no one said it was going to be a picnic or easy, but it's a shift. It's a complete shift of collective consciousness. And we belong here. We belong here because we can hold the light. We can be the light, not just hold it, we are the light. But we can know that, and in that awareness, it shifts everything. It really does. And this moment, right here and now, we're being forced to look at every part of ourselves, but the good, the bad, the ugly, and find the good in it all. I don't know about you, but I like to bounce back. I don't like to stay stuck in these situations, these explosions, these fireworks. I like to, okay, I'm in it, don't feel good, but then I know something so much better is happening. It's always happening. I believe that. We are evolving as a species. The source of all good, God, is always evolving. And so are we. We are always evolving. We're evolving right here and right now. So, God is the gift. This creative, all-knowing energy, pure consciousness, which we call God, and the gift is beauty, and the gift is freedom, found right in the middle of any kind of firework of life. And if you would but get a higher perspective and see beyond the current horizon. It's not static, it's moving. And I want to leave you with a letter that Friar Giovanni, a 15th century Franciscan monk, wrote to a friend. So this is my letter to you, and it is my prayer for all of us. And then I'm going to end it with two prayers that I wrote 5 years apart, and I'll tell you about that. But this is from a Franciscan monk. He wrote, I am your friend, and my love for you goes deep. There is nothing I can give you which you do not already have. There is much, much, much that I cannot give you, but you can always take. No peace lies in the future which is not hidden in this present little instant. Take peace. The gloom of the world, now this is 15th century, the gloom of the world is but a shadow. Behind it, yet within your reach is joy. There is a radiance and a glory in the darkness. Could you but see? And to see, you only have to look. I beseech you to look. Life is a generous giver, but we are judging its gifts by covering, cast them away as ugly or heavy or hard. Remove the covering, he said, and you will find beneath it a thriving splendor, woven of love by wisdom with power. Welcome it, grasp it, touch the angel's hand that brings it to you. Everything we call a trial, a sorrow, or a duty, believe me, that angel's hand is there. The gift is there, as is the wonder of an overshadowing presence. Life is so full of meaning and purpose, so full of beauty beneath its covering, that you will find the earth but cloaked in heaven. I would like to, okay, and so that's what he wrote. So I am now going to read 2 prayers that I wrote to you, for you, and for me. I speak to you, I speak to me. The first one was written July 4th, 2020, right in the beginning, right in the middle of this COVID shutdown, as I like to call it, because that's what it was, where we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't meet, we couldn't do anything. But I wrote this. Celebrating freedom is a little different this year. And to some of us, it might not feel as if we were free to celebrate anything. Part of me was feeling this way. So I had to give myself a good talking to. Just because we are doing things differently doesn't mean we can't enjoy freedom. I am celebrating the gift of free thought, free choice. The gift of being grateful for all that I have in this human life. And most important aspect of my freedom is that I am celebrating. Is my choice to be spiritually conscious. To know that divine love guides me, supports me, and is always present for me. This is the truth of each of us. We all have this innate ability to align with the spiritual power that is always present and will guide us in every experience that life throws at us. True freedom is recognizing that we are truly spiritual beings who are having this human experience. We have the freedom to choose how we think, act, and feel in any given situation. Let us choose kindness, peace, and right action. Let us choose to be the light to ourselves and to others. Let us wake up and discover that no matter what, the love of God is our only truth. And so it is.
So it is.
Then, this July 4th, was feeling a little down also. So I gave myself a good talking to, and I wrote this, which you might have read on social media, but I'm going to read it again. This is my prayer. Today I celebrate the birthday of this beautiful country, America. I celebrate the American people who at their core are compassionate, good, and powerful people. I celebrate those who have gone before us and have given their lives for the freedom and justice of this country. I claim that each and every one of us has a divine freedom that can never be taken away. When we stand in that truth and the power of our divine selves, we cannot afford to waver from the powerful beings that we truly are. And all things are possible. Sometimes it does not look that way. However, when we stand in justice and truth and unity, I know that that is the only way to live our lives. Love is the glue that holds the universe together, all of us together. I embrace that love. I embrace that love. My prayer is that we stand in unity and justice as we shine our lights and our actions reflect our true compassion. Again, all things are possible. So today, this weekend, today, I celebrate the beautiful Americans who make up this country. I celebrate the birthday of America, and I celebrate the heart and soul of this great country, and so it is.
And so it is.